Welcome back, guys, and we're back with a brand new episode of Seacoast Presents. This time we're going to be taking a look at Purple Freesia, a unique therapy company created and owned by Lynn Schnook. We took a visit over to her therapy room, we had a little bit of a chat to find out a bit more of her story, and how she founded her current business. Lynn has got an extremely inspiring story, starting from the very bottom down in East London, being told that she would never make it out of secondary school, to then not only teaching, learning multiple therapies, and then creating her own unique brand of therapy. We had a great time there when we were filming, and here is Lynn's story.
Yeah, my name's Lynn and I am owner and founder of Purple Freesia Integrated Therapies. I'm based here at Bagshot in Surrey and yeah, welcome.
When was it that you got your interest in therapy, or what was it that started it?
I was 23 years young. I like to say young because I think it's a mental aptitude in life. And I'd finished my human biosciences degree, kind of started medicine sort of in a view to go down that route, the kind of more mainstream medical route. And I had an issue with my shoulder. I was a personal trainer at the time to earn money for university as well. And I was training a young lady and I was like, oh, my shoulder's not right. And then I went to the GP, they referred me to an orthopedic consultant. And he told me that I had severe scoliosis of my spine and that I'd have to have surgery. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to go down the medicine route myself to train, but I don't really want surgery at this age because I was into my sports. I was very into boxing at the time, and I couldn't think of anything worse than being off my feet. And so I thought, no, this ain't for me. So my personal trainer, the lady that I was personal training, Tanya, she was like, go and see my witch doctor. And I laughed at her. I was like, a witch doctor? And she goes, yeah, go and see him. I said, look, I've seen so many chiropractors, osteopaths, deep tissue therapists, and I spent lots and lots of money at this time when I discussed it with her. And she said, no, go and see him. He's an osteomologist. He's only one of a kind. And she called him a witch doctor because at the time he practiced Chinese medicine and he used to blow her away with what he knew. So I went to see him. It was a bit of a trek. And I trusted Quincy, and he said in 4 sessions, if you do what I ask you to do in between sessions and I do my bit, we'll have you to a place where you won't have to have surgery. And I was like, really? Okay, let's go with this. And I felt I could trust him. He seemed really genuine. So I went down that road. After the 3rd appointment, he asked me to go and get an x-ray back from my orthopedic surgeon, which I did. And surprise, surprise, I was so blown away. My spine had sort of shifted by 9 degrees, so I didn't have to have surgery, and I've maintained it ever since with this man. And that's where it started my passion. I was like, okay, so if it's not broken, don't fix it, because my mum used to say that to me. Why don't I just go into this route of like trying to help people and fix themselves and self-heal with the minimum input, less money, and just, and have some integrity about it. Because I felt that Quincy was the first person I met that was so genuine to me that I wanted to become like him and more. So that's when my journey started.
And it must have been quite a surprise knowing that you didn't have to go through surgery to achieve what you actually wanted as well.
Oh my gosh, I was like, yes. So it's so exciting for me because I didn't have to have that surgery and then the recovery. That would have been a long time.
How long would the recovery have been?
They said about 3 months. And also there's complications could have happened. Like I could have become paralyzed. There's a lot going on, because back then, we're going back, I was 21 years ago. So surgery isn't where it is now. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a kind of like, what do I do? Mixed feelings. And I'm so thankful I met Quincy. And that started my journey of like, right, how do I get to where I want to be? I want to be a Quincy and more. I want to do skeletal, muscular, myofascial work, but I also want to do mental health because I believe in the mind-body-soul connection. So that's where my journey started. Like, what do I start with first? So I started with my basic training of sports and remedial, and then I added it on as I went along.
So moving on to the start of your journey, after you've had this experience and realising how beneficial it can actually be, without going to surgery and gaining the experience that you had, what was the next step in your progression? Did you go straight to, I want to do therapy, or was that the point for you where you were like, I want to go study?
Because I got my first class honours degree in human biosciences, because originally my mum had passed away when I was 18 to cancer, and I wanted to save the world from cancer. I wanted to be a paediatric oncologist, so this was with children, And then this experience happened to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Like, I'm in the throes of being accepted in medicine. I started my journey with medicine. I had a crossover with 2 degrees. That's another story for another day. But I was a bit like, what do I do? So there was this passion building inside me in my belly, and I was like, I'm all about justice, girls. And I was a bit like, okay, this man's helped me. What do I need to do? So I kind of parked medicine at that point, and I trained to be a science teacher because I thought I need to, I did it in a year, PGCE, so I could keep on with my degree to some extent and be with children because I love the youth. But I was like, I need to study, but I need money to live, right? So I trained to be a science teacher in a year, got my job, and then I started with Mel Cash. So he founded Sports and Remedial Massage Therapy. He's got his London School of Sports Massage. So that's where my journey started. I trained with him for a year. I got that under my belt, and I started practicing when I wasn't science teaching. So it was quite full on. So that's where it started. And then from there, I added on other courses with time to get to where I am now.
Must have been quite a busy and stressful period with that happening, obviously with your mom, and then, because sometimes with your mom, she helps you choose, doesn't she, where to go, and you sort of actually make the choices for yourself at that point for what's best for you.
Yeah, it was an interesting time. I'm a very spiritual person, and when my mum passed away when I was 18, I nursed her the day she died. I had a year and a half with my mum. It started out with a hernia, and then it was ovarian cancer. And I took my second year of college out to nurse her and be with her. She was my best mate, so I wanted to spend all the time with her. And I didn't back then know, it sounds silly that she was going to pass away. I was so hopeful. I still am that kind of person. And I remember saying to me, Renee, when I pass away, I want you to travel the world, finish your education as best you can. And the most important thing is pay everyone you meet with kind. And so I thought, okay, pay everyone you meet with kind. That kept going through my head, that saying. So when I was thinking, what do I do next? I'm passionate about helping people. I want to be kind to people. So it was just, I can't explain it. I just felt like I could hear in my head going, this is the right move for you. Like, you've got to do something you're passionate about. But it was a long process. And at times I was like, oh, I just want to be there now, like you do. But I'm there now, and I'm so happy. But along the way, when you're in different job roles, it's a tough journey, but I'm glad that I stuck at it.
Obviously, you've started a business which is both, you can access them, you can actually come down to your business, or you can book it online. What inspired you to actually start it like that? Did you start your business first, or did you start online first with your website?
Purple Freesia was quite interesting how it came about. So I, at the time, before Purple Freesia came to be, I was in Australia. I'd gone out there to live, to do these therapies, to learn more. At the time for my education, I was I was studying at the Australasian College of Natural Therapies in Darling Harbour. And then I got the sense that my dad was sick, so I'm very spiritual, we'll come back to this. So I came back to England in summer 2015, and my dad said he was fine. I was like, something not right with him. And then I asked for a 6-month kind of break from Australia. I came over here because you have sponsorship. And 5 months in, Dad was sick. He coughed up blood, and they said it was stage 4 lung cancer. So that brought me back to England. So I was like, right, now's the time to launch me. So purple, my favourite colour, it's very spiritual. Freesia was my mum's favourite flowers. So Purple Freesia, and in the integrated therapies, is putting all my tools, knowledge and expertise together to help people from a very body, holistic point of view, mind, body, soul. So that's how it came to pass, Purple Freesia. So I just started in a gym, not too far from here. It was in Frogmore, just doing bits and bobs. And then at home, in my home in Lately at the time. And then I got asked to come here to teach spinning in Bagshot and Snap Fitness. And they had this room available. They were using it for PTs. I thought, no, that could be good for my therapies. And that's where Purple Freesia started. And then with time, I got a website, someone helped me to build one, and then I got my booking system online. So it's kind of developed gradually.
So bit by bit to
bit by
make
bit.
the complete picture, basically.
Yeah, I'm getting there, still not there yet, but it's a progression. Everything's a working piece of art. So starting a business can seem overwhelming, but I was like, right, because I'm a life coach, I was like, right, take the big elephant and put it down in small bite-sized chunks and deal with one thing at a time. And that's what I teach my clients. You can't just build Rome in a day, but you have to be resilient. And I think I've got the resilience from when my mum was sick. So that was my thing, like just one step at a time, and it will eventually come to pass. Whereas I think in this day and age, everyone wants it yesterday. You know, it's like instant gratification. Yeah, where I'm a grafter. I'm happy to like work hard and do it in small, bite-sized chunks. Otherwise, you do get overwhelmed, and then you get stressed, and then you think, I can't do this, but I believe you can. So like, that's important because I teach spinning classes as well, and I tell my spinning group, or when I go up a hill, I tell them I can, I will, and I'm able to do this. And that's my mantra. And that's another thing that I kind of got my wise words, not from my mum, but I've developed them along the way, like something that she would have said, you know. And so, yeah, I just attack things bit by bit. And also, just if it's really interesting, I really believe a reason, a season, a lifetime. Everything happens as it's meant to. So as long as it's taken, that's okay. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be right now, and I look forward to what's to come always. It's exciting. The journey's exciting. I'm excited.
So did you find any in particular hard periods through starting your business, anywhere from the time that you started up until now?
That's an interesting question. When I came back from Australia, I had a feeling that my dad was sick. That came to pass, and he was sick, and I nursed him till he died, which was the end of 2016. And he kind of inspired me then to stay in England, and I launched Purple Frisia in January 2017. So out of bad comes the good. And I've always lived like that. So losing my dad inspired me to settle, stay in England, and launch Purple Frisia, my mum's name. And yeah, so it's quite weird, like having lost my dad, who I was really close to, I ended up launching this business of mine. And so that was a tough period because I had to take all those emotions and use them for the greater good. So I set it up and small steps, and it started to, gain momentum, and I started to go online and do your Facebook and do your Instagram, and it starts to build. And then it just gets to year 17, 18, 19, year 3, the start of year 3, everything's going great. I'm getting fully booked January, February, March 2020, and then COVID hit. And it was like, boom. And that was an interesting time for me.
How did it affect you, and particularly with COVID? Did you find that people just weren't coming in, or did you actually have to shut altogether?
Oh, I had to shut altogether. The gym was shut down. All services, hands-on services had to shut down. Because at that time I hadn't really promoted my life coaching as much, so I wasn't online. I am now, but at that time it was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And again, my whole ethos is like, right, good comes out of bad, Lynn. Good comes out of bad. It's good. What are you gonna do? And I'm into meditation and praying and stuff, so everything shut down. I'm at home, like, okay, this money's gonna last me for lockdown 1, and that was good. In lockdown 1, I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with my time? So I got into a routine, I was stretching every day, so I was doing stuff that I wouldn't normally do and challenging myself, and I decided to start writing. So that sort of gave me like time to reflect and write my first book, and it also gave me time to think about more of the direction of my business and what I was going to do next. And then we came out of lockdown 1, and I survived that, luckily. And then we had a little bit of time, and then went to lockdown 2 for a month. I survived that. We came out, we had about 2.5 weeks to Christmas, and I was rammed. I think everyone suddenly went, I need to be fixed. So that was great. And then we went to lockdown 3, and that was a struggle because then money came to an end. I had to take out a loan, actually my credit cards. But again, I was like, don't worry, all will be well. And it has been. I've come out of lockdown 3, and slowly the business started to build again. And I've got to say, since this year, probably since about May, I feel like we're back to how we were, not quite before COVID, but we're nearly there. So I'm always ever hopeful, and it can only get better.
And was there any points actually which you did literally think, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to continue this, or did you not ever let it get to that point?
I am really blessed with the parents I had, James, to be fair, and my mum and dad. The resilience they instilled in me, and like I grew up in a poor place in London, East London, in East Ham. We grew up in top of the shop. We didn't have much, but I always had unconditional love for my family, and they instilled in me the faith and the belief system that You can do anything you put your mind to. That's another one my mum used to say to me, that's coming back to me now. Lynn, you can do anything you put your mind to. You know, the home, the clothes, the place you grow up in doesn't define you. And that's really important that I say that now, because I've achieved so much, and I'm a little East London girl who got told she'd never do more than secondary school. Yet I've got a first class honours degree, and I've travelled the world, and I've done some amazing things. So I give thanks to my parents for that.
Previously, we've spoken about how and what inspires you in terms of bringing happiness to people and actually an end result with a lot of their problems. How was it that you come to that?
Okay, we need to go back a step. During my journey at university, I didn't have much money, and I trained to be a personal trainer first of all, and that gave me money to study. And at the end of that first degree, Human Biosciences, I never forget it. I went into Waterstone's bookshop and I took a book, and I was looking at all these books on the Lonely Planet guides, and I've never been abroad. And my mum had asked me to travel the world, and I was drawn to a book that said Indonesia on it. Now, I didn't know where Indonesia was. I sound so blunt. I had no clue. But I grabbed it. I bought it with a genetics textbook, a virology textbook, went on my way. When I finished my degree, I was packing up at Plymouth University in my room, and I found the book. I was like, right, I've got 3 months, this is where I'm going. And this really links to this point. I went to Indonesia, and I went to Bali. I travelled the whole of the islands of Indonesia, but I was drawn back to Bali, and the people and the place is just so humble. They have humility, they're so spiritual, and I gained a lot of knowledge about myself and how I view the world. I haven't got a Western world view. My Indonesian family say I'm Asian, really, and I was a bleach baby. They make me laugh, to be fair, because I think inner happiness and someone's emotional well-being comes from within. So that's one of the reasons that I like to work with my clients and try and find out what is really going on for you. This back pain, say someone comes with back pain, what is it all about? Is it just biomechanical? Is it musculoskeletal myofascial? Is it hormonal? Is it because you're so stressed, because you're looking to external world for your happiness, that your cortisol levels go up and that contracts your muscles? So I'm really passionate about helping people to understand what is going on for them and how to become the best version of themselves, and also how to self-heal. So my spiritual nature really has an effect on all this, and why I'm so passionate. So Indonesia is very important to me, it inspires me. It's my second home. I go home regularly. I am an energetic healer, and I think that Asian influence comes through a lot. People find me quirky because I talk about getting pictures. I do go to church. I have had an experience with Christ. That sounds so crazy because I'm not religious. That's really important to say, but I have faith. I've had a lot happen to me, and I just, I can look at people in their eyes, and their eyes are the gateway to their soul, and I can tell when someone's sad. And if someone's sad, then I kind of try and find a way to ask them what is really going on, or I just start fixing them, and it all comes out, James, to be honest. And then we go on a road of discovery of how can we help you to help yourself. Asia has a big part to play in my life. The mum died because the people are so kind there, and I'm different. I'm really different. When I was young, I was 3, my mum knew I was different, and I think ADHD. I know now because I help children with ADHD, but my mum helped me to gain patience and understanding of myself. So now I can talk to you, I can concentrate. No one believes when I go into school I have ADHD because I've learned to manage it. That's another facet to my bow. I know how to help people that are different, and it's okay to be different. And my mum taught me it's okay to be you. And when I used to run around for a mad half hour when I was 8 and go with energy, my dad would go, "Sandra, control our daughter." And my mum was like, "Bruce," and she'd go, "Lynn, come here." I laid down on her lap, and she just stroked my hair, and it's a sensory thing, and I'd fall asleep. So all of those things, I help youth as well, because they don't always understand themselves. So I don't just work with adults. The youth don't understand sometimes why they are the way they are, and I try and help their parents and the child or the young adult and the school to understand that human being, because my mum took the time to understand me, And we spend so much time being human doings and running around like a nutter. Why can't we just be? Because after all, we are human beings, and I think that's really important as well.
Absolutely.
We don't spend time working ourselves out, and the Asians do. That's what I'm coming on to. So Asia taught me to take a step back, to be a human being and not a human doing. And with that, you'll understand what's going on for you.
When we spoke yesterday, you mentioned about wanting to get started with schools to actually help the youth out in these ways as well.
Yeah, James, because my background's in science teaching, so I was down that road. When I was a science teacher, I worked at a really good school called St John the Baptist, and the head teacher there, Annie McGill, kind of believed in me and saw a light in me, and she knew I could become a really good teacher, which I did. And I think she wanted me to carry on down that path to become like a head mistress long term. But along that journey with her, I had a real big passion for the youth that were different, like ADHD, ASD, autism, any learning difficulties. And I think that goes back to my mum again, believing in me and telling me I can do anything I put my mind to, and it's okay to be different. So I found a passion for them. So I helped in that way. And then when Purple Freesia came to pass, I was like, I want to help my community. So there's a local school to me here, Heathfield School. I went in there and I started helping the teachers first. So I go in and do staff wellbeing. I did that about 5 years ago. I do 1 day a week and give back to the community. And then from that, I've been helping the youth now. So I life coach a lot of the students to understand themselves better, to help the staff, the parents and themselves. Along this journey, I have gone to schools in London, and so they might book me out for a day where I go and do staff wellbeing. So I really do want to explore that further in my business. I want to go in, maybe once a term or half a term, head teachers had me in, and I can help their staff to feel better, to be more productive and efficient in their job. Because I know it's like as a teacher, we get drained, we get tired, we get stressed, and actually for productivity, if I'm going in once a term and helping a head teacher or head mistress with their staff, then they won't go off sick. So it's a knock-on effect. And with that, when I'm talking to them, fixing them, or whatever it may be they bring to the table, they start talking about their pupils, not by name, but they might say, this happens, that happens, and I can give them top tips, like children with ADHD and autism, because it's becoming more and more common now in schools for children to be coming through with those issues. So I really want to push that with my business as well. I'm really passionate about youth and the teaching side, because I've been there, right? It's my experience. I've been a teacher, and it's hard graft when you're up till 1 a.m, to be the best you can be for the future, I don't know, doctors, nurses, firefighters, cleaners, whatever you want to be in life. It is tough at the top. So I think I like giving back and helping those individuals.
It's a great idea, because it's rather than trying to solve something after it's the problem, it's trying to solve it before it's the problem, isn't it? So you're trying to talk to people.
Prevention rather than cure. And that's why I feel I didn't continue down the medicine route, because, there's a place for medicine, and I wish we all worked together better, prevention rather than cure. So I wish it was like, for example, I know some of my GP friends, if you go in with back problems, they'll give you some pain relief. I understand that at a time, like maybe diazepam, naproxen, and then refer to a physio, but that just puts sticky plaster on it. That's, strengthen those muscles, but it doesn't get to the root cause. I'm all about the root cause and helping someone to understand how to self-heal and fix themselves long term. If you get the tools given to you, then you don't need me. And I love that. It's something go away after a couple of sessions and go, right, Lynn's helped me do this, this and this. I understand the root cause. She's fixed it for me. And if ever it starts to go backwards, I know what to do. It's this, this and this. So I think it's really important to educate people, actually. I don't think this country's quite there yet. We've explained to people why there's a problem and how to fix it.
What is integrated therapy, and how is it different to other therapy that people might be receiving already?
So along my journey, I've built up all my different qualifications and the tools in my box to look at the person like a Rubik's Cube. So for me, integrated means taking all the different tools and therapies, knowledge and expertise that I have and putting it into one package. So someone comes to me and I say, okay, let's have a look at you. I do a biomechanical assessment, see what's going on with the body. That will tell me about the muscular system, the skeletal system, the myofascial system, the nervous system, and maybe even their mental health. It depends what they want to share with me, especially just met me. It's usually more kind of like physical at that point. And so I do the assessment and I say, okay, right, your back problem is coming from skeletal, muscular and myofascial. And because I'm trained in these different disciplines, I can tell them, right, it's going to take 2 sessions. I can look at them like a Rubik's Cube and go, right, we need to do this, this and this, and mix it around to get all the colours on the right side. It's probably the easy way to put it. Whereas most people in this country, they have a problem and they'll go to individual therapists like an osteopath, a chiropractor, which is the same thing, but skeletal. They'll go to a sports massage therapist or deep tissue, or they go to physio for rehab. I take all of that and combine it into one pot. So with integrated therapy, I ask the client to always book for initial consultation and a session. So during that session, I can work out what's going on with them, the whys, the hows, and how I'm going to fix it. And I explain it, and then I get down to fixing that session. So if it's a back problem, I know I can fix them in that session. I can release the muscles, do the skeletal stuff, send them away with some rehabilitation exercises. They'll come back for a second session, and then they're fixed 9 times out of 10. If there's a complex skeletal issue, it might take a third session, and they're done. During that journey though, James, they might start talking to me, and I'm quite an open person, as you can tell, and they might share with me they're having problems with their sleep, or I might pick up on their feet and go, are you having problems sleeping? Your adrenal glands are up. And they're like, how do you know that? And then that might lead to them booking in for an insomnia therapy session with me or a stress busting package. And in that time, in that session, they come for 90 minutes. I give them an hour full body massage. It's more chilled. It's working on the nervous system to calm it down. And I get on their feet and I do some reflexology. Now, I'm not just training in reflexology. I'm also trained in nerve reflexology, and it's so powerful. I trained at a school in Copenhagen, Touchpoint, and it really does get desired results. So I mix up all my different therapies again and make that client feel valued and fixed and complete, because sometimes you don't know what's going on with someone. So most people then, to answer you, come to me for a problem and they're fixed in 2-3 sessions maximum. However, if along those sessions they start to open up to the other stuff, it could lead to stress busting package, insomnia. It could lead to life coaching, because then we go on the mental health side. So it all depends on the individual needs at that time.
I've noticed you're quite passionate about life coaching with people, especially youth. Why is that?
I, again, go back to when I was younger, my mum, and I've always different. Like my bro used to joke with me, Robert, what is he like? He used to go, sis, you're a freak, unique, and I go a bit of both, okay? And people used to comment on my indifferences, and it's okay to be an individual, and I think it's really, really important for me to get across that I just want to help people become the best version of themselves, whatever that may be. So when I take on the youth, I find things like they've got such low self-esteem, they don't understand themselves or their place in the world, and it's okay not to know, but I like to inspire them. And a really big thing that I've come to learn about myself is the way that I help people is through 2 things, and it's my AA. So that's not Alcoholics Anonymous. It's accountability and authenticity. And I think I'm really passionate about those 2 things in life. And so helping the youth understand that it's an inside job, so they become balanced individuals and adults and go out into the big wide world, it's going to help humanity, right? And I'm all about, that's it, helping humanity to be better. Because right now I think we are in a crazy world and we need to help it. So if I can help individuals become the best version of themselves and they pass that on to others, or they become adults and their own children, and they remember 2 things, AA, accountability and authenticity, then I leave my legacy when I pass over. Currently, my business Purple Freesia Integrated Therapy is doing well. I'm fully booked sort of like 2 weeks in advance. I'm enjoying helping people from all aspects, from like mental health, physical, emotional and spiritual well-being. I am going to schools. I'm starting to pick up on that. I'm really enjoying life coaching the youth. I've got more adults coming my way as well. I'd like to expand Purple Freesia. I'd like to get my branding into other gyms. I'd like to have a team around me. I'm looking for the right people. I have been trying to interview people, but they've got to be not me, but have a good ethos. They want to help humanity. They want to have people be the best version of themselves. They want to understand that you've kind of got to mix up the therapies and understand the individual. and help them. And it's not about the money, it's about helping them to fix themselves to be the best person they can be. So I kind of want to expand Purple Freesia. So I'm looking for people to join me. I want to expand it in gyms. I want to expand the therapies in schools. So really I'd like 2 teams really. So that's what I'm looking to do, and then continue to write books and get out there and be the best life coach I can be, and ultimately get on stage, James, and travel the country and the world preaching my message and my word to people. Purple Freesia Integrated Therapies is based within Snap Fitness in Bagshot. We're on 2B London Road if you want to come and see us. You can catch me at lynn@purplefreesia.co.uk personally if you'd like to talk to me about anything that I've spoken about or you've heard me say and you want to talk to me one-on-one. I'm all good with that. I'm down with that. If not, you can access me at my website, www.purplefreesia.co.uk. I'm on Instagram as Purple Freesia Surrey, and I'm on Facebook as well as Purple Freesia Surrey.
So guys, I hope you've taken some inspiration from Lynn's story. I was truly inspired myself, and it's actually great to see UK businesses thrive like this. If you've got a story that you want to share that's similar to this, or completely your own unique story, make sure to let us know. We love promoting UK businesses, and we'll come, film and tell your story for others to hear.